Welcome aboard the Ear to There podcast, the podcast that'll help you vacation like a pro in any Disney destination. For those of you standing, please sit down and hold on throughout our journey and get ready to learn how to have the time of your life. And now, here's your host, Phil Gramlich.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ear to There podcast. I'm your host, Phil Gramlich. I am also the owner and operator of Ear to There Travel, which is a Disney-specialized travel agency. It's my job to take away the stress, the anxiety, and all that time that it takes to plan a Disney trip so you can focus on the fun things like having a great time with your family and friends and enjoying the magic. Oh, and by the way, I do all that planning for free, absolutely for free. So from fast passes to dining to the resort to any special event tickets, I can do all of that planning, all of that work at absolutely no extra cost to you. And this is episode 54 for the week of February 6th, 2017. Now, grab a drink, grab a snack, and as a famous mouse once said, on with the show. Over the last year, we've talked about an awful lot of Disney topics on this show. We've covered some resorts, the theme parks, the dining, the characters, all kinds of stuff. But one thing we haven't talked about a whole lot are the lounges in Walt Disney World. I think here and there we've mentioned them, right? We've mentioned the River Roost Lounge where Yeehaw Bob does his nightly show. I am always talking about Trader Sam's over at the Polynesian, of course. But that's really kind of it. So this week, we wanted to give you a peek inside one of the lounges in Walt Disney World. These lounges can be a great place to kind of relax and enjoy your evening and talk about your day. And that is exactly what me and my buddy Johnny Shortsleeve did on my last visit to Walt Disney World. So we met up at the Bellevue Lounge in Disney's Boardwalk Inn and Villas to talk about the lounges, to have a couple of adult beverages, and basically to kind of go off on whatever rant or whatever tangent that happened to come to us that night. So what follows is an unedited but still very family-friendly and G-rated conversation between myself and Mr. Johnny Shortsleeve. We join this conversation already in progress.
So we wanted to talk about why the lounges in Walt Disney World are awesome, because we're here at one, and the Bellevue Lounge in the Boardwalk it's a pretty cool lounge. We're sitting next to a really cool, 20s or 30s style radio. I forget what the game is this. What is this game that we're talking about? What's it called?
Eddie Cantor's game, Tell It to the Judge.
So Tell It to the Judge. That we're about to pull down and start playing.
That's a great line as a parent to your kids. Your kids are getting a little lippy. Tell it to the judge.
Right? You know what's funny is
which is like code for tell it to mom.
Yeah, that's really true. That's definitely how it goes in my house, too. But we were talking about the books that they have in here, in the Bellevue Lounge, are all, because the Boardwalk is set in the 30s and 40s. No, 20s and 30s, I'm sorry. We wanted to test if the books were props, and they're not. You can actually take a book off the shelf and read it. So right now I'm looking at I don't know, I can't read them from sideways. Something in America.
It's like a book on Turkey, like not the bird, but the country.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's about the country.
I wonder if
that's a thick book about a bird.
Now I gotta check.
There we go. Don't knock the. Almost knocked.
I almost knocked the picture now. Okay.
You have to pay for that. It's probably on one of those chains, like the bank pens. Like,
yeah, right. Oh wow! It's literally a book about the country of Turkey. And it's from the...
What's the copyright date on it?
Dude, you're going to have to help me because I do not have my glasses.
You got a 2-beer buzz, too. It might be hard to see straight.
1939. 1939.
I wonder what the street value of all these books are right now.
I don't know. Not as much as the board game. What's it? Uncle Eddie's...
Eddie Cantor.
Eddie Cantor something or other.
He's a pretty cool looking dude. I mean, that's a gutsy move if you're gonna brand yourself on a board game, like to have your whole face as being like the background of the board game.
To people listening, he looks like Gomez Adams.
Oh, that's a good pull. It does look like Gomez.
With his frame as a mustache. That's exactly what it looks like. All right, so,
that's awesome.
So we probably should talk about the Bellevue Lounge a little bit, and then the other lounges around property. So right now we're right at Marathon Weekend 2017 when it got canceled. The half marathon got canceled, and this lounge is hopping a little bit for a Saturday night. I've been here a bunch. I've never seen it actually this loud, this crowded, this busy.
Well, and it's been interesting. We've been here for like an hour or so, parked at the same table, and the crowd moves through. And here's the thing that I think is, and tell me if you agree with this or not, is this is a very consistent thing with the lounges at the different resort hotels in Walt Disney World. The crowd is a very tame crowd. Like, I'm the kind of guy who I'm past my prime on going out and drinking. Like,
you and me both, man.
So I don't like to go out to bars because I'm not up for a fist fight on a Saturday night anymore. And
you're not in your 20s.
Yeah, I mean, I can't take a punch as good as I used to. I'm worried about my good looks now. But that's the thing that I think is cool about it is, if you're somebody who says, I want to go out and relax and just get a nice beer or a glass of wine or a cocktail, but you're not into the bar scene, or you've already had dinner for the night, so what do? Do you raid the mini bar, or do you go and try to concoct something from the little sundry shop in your hotel room with the glasses?
I've done that a million times, yeah.
You're using the glasses that you already used, or you're like rinsing your mouth after brushing your teeth. You're like, I'm sure it's clean.
Just use hot water and rub with your finger.
Yeah, I'll put some wild turkey in here. It'll clean it out. It's a nice alternative because you can feel like you can sit here. You don't have to look over your shoulder constantly wondering, hey, is someone going to try to cold cock me with a bottle of Coors Light, or is someone going to try to bait me with a knife fight? Like it's tame, it's relaxed.
And we're good with the knife fights here. You don't have to worry about it. I just looked over my shoulder.
Looking over his shoulder. He just wanted to make sure.
And I see it's an empty hallway. There's a couple of empty tables. Right around us, I don't know, there's probably 20 or 30 people in the lounge. Yeah. Right now, we're sitting at, it's 10:15 at night on Saturday, the night they canceled the half marathon. Tomorrow is Marathon Sunday, 2017. And that is on. It's going to be 18 degrees with the wind chill tomorrow morning.
Dude, can you imagine what it'd be like if they didn't issue refunds? Like, there'd be, like, dumpster fires and people ripping down light posts.
Yeah, we'd be in trouble. We were saying earlier before we came alive, I was surprised they offered it, but it's good that they did. I'm getting my refund for today, and I'm unfortunately not running tomorrow, but that's a story for another.
Unfortunately, I'm cheering you on.
Yeah, right?
That's crazy.
What's funny is I have my beer, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not running, and I was very upset about it. But my second beer makes me feel better about it.
I was looking at the race course, and I thought, man, I get winded driving that course. Like, that's a long drive.
It is.
And then, like, people are running that? Like, that's insane.
I did it 2 of the last 3 years. No, 3 of the last 4. I was supposed to do it 2 years ago. I had the flu. Last year I did the dopey. This year I was supposed to do the goofy, but it broke my rib a month and a half ago. And anyway, that was kind of that. It didn't work out.
You get extra credit, man. You were running the dopey with the avian bird flu. You're the only guy out there with the Michael Jackson mask when you're running.
That's true. All right, so this lounge is very, like I said, it's usually pretty subdued. You can probably hear the 20s and 30s radio in the background. I think I mentioned that already.
Which I love, man.
It's cool.
Because it really, I think, adds to the atmosphere. And to say that, this whole resort is kind of themed to that era.
Yeah.
And, I think music really helps to set the stage for what experience they're trying to give you. And it just kind of like at the theme parks. If you think about every theme park, they have music as a key element of design to help show you, where you're at or help you feel like you're at a different place. And they've done that really well. And it's not like blaring. We just happen to be sitting right next to Race. It probably sounds like we're literally sitting in the front row of a big band.
I hope it does. I hope the recording kind of shows it because as soon as I came up, like Johnny was sitting in the spot before I got here. I was a couple minutes late, as I usually am, with my children trying to get them to sleep tonight. But we're right next to the radio, so it's kind of cool to. So I hope it kind of translates. That it's like I want to feel like. It's the first thing I said to him when I came up to the table tonight was, I feel like I'm in line of Tower of Terror. It kind of feels like
that. I mean,
it's that vibe. Or The Shining. Where everyone's going to get murdered tonight.
Gosh. Yeah, no, it's, you know what I like about it, though? I mean, it literally is a spot where I feel comfortable to hang out. And when I have friends in town, like when you're in town, that's one of the things I enjoy, is to say, hey, can we carve out a little time just to hang out, sit down, and grab a beer? And, you know, I know if you're here with your friends or with your family, this could be a nice way to round the night off. And, you know, if you cut out of the parks a little early, kids are going to bed early, you know, sneak out and obviously leave someone with the kids in the room. Don't just, you know, abandon them in the room.
We have babysitters, TV.
You got a webcam. Stacy Aswad, the in-room TV.
Yeah, it's just a babysitter. That's what we call her.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, they got the all the kid care services, like at the Polynesian.
They do have that,
And I can't think of all the other spots where they have. There's a few of them around.
Yeah, they have the babysitting service that Walt Disney World recommends that slipped in my mind.
Oh, yeah, and they come into the room.
That's right.
They have their people that they bring in at an hourly rate.
Yeah, and they're like completely vetted and they do background checks. So you can do that if you want to go out and explore the lounges at night. Which, dude, I agree. It's not Pleasure Island, right? You're not sitting in a loud club.
It's not Dewey Beach, Delaware.
Yeah. Dewey Beach, Delaware. Good reference.
Yeah, man, I've done that scene before, but when I was a lot younger.
That's funny. I have my family who.
No disrespect to Dewey Beach, Delaware, but you know, I think there's a shelf life to being able to go out there.
It's funny. It's my family who still goes out at Dewey Beach, who are in their 40s now, older than me, and still doing it.
Loving life, man. Good for them, man.
I hope you're not listening.
I hope you are listening, and you're listening at Dewey Beach, waiting for it to open. It's like, how many more months?
Yeah, it's not Dewey Beach. It's not mine. Mine was got a little loudness going on in it.
And it's a fist fight. Let's duck. No,
watch out.
No.
Mickey and Donald at the bar getting a little unruly. But mine was Sea Isle City. That's where I grew up going to the beach and going. And it was like that. It was the loud, like, when it was cool when I was a kid anyway. I'm going off on a tangent. I don't need to do that right now.
Well, and speaking of kids, I mean, we were kind of commenting on this. This is actually a place where the lounges are set up that it is actually family friendly. I think probably after a certain hour, you don't want to pull that number. You know, like Trader Sam's has like a cutoff, like 8:30 or 8:30.
Yeah.
Where you know they do have a restriction on the age. I don't know. I don't think the Bellevue had. I didn't see any signs.
There were kids in here when we first got here, and it was. Well, and I think it was after 9 o'clock.
They had a juggler like that was right behind Phil. I thought he was going to start tossing pins at Phil's head.
I didn't even see him, and there was this loud crowd that was laughing and clapping, and I thought it was for me.
Well, and then you saw me. I had like that 10-mile stare. Like I was just looking over your shoulder. Like,
that's funny. I kept looking at him. I thought it was like a Vietnam flashback for the guy.
I thought like his cross eye like finally kicked into gear.
Yeah, but so yeah, this isn't it's not a place. I think you can sit. It's pretty open seating. You can kind of bring your family. There's big couches and little tables around. And like I said, You do have your happy crowd right now at the bar itself, but it's not somewhere that's unapproachable for children, I think.
And I'm sorry to cut you off. Like,
No.
I think on a recent, maybe it was the last podcast we did, I made a crack about you rolling around with a Viking helmet on in your neighborhood. A dude just walked behind you with a Viking helmet on.
That's true. I didn't see that.
Oh, he's gone now. I'm messing with you. No, literally, he had a Viking helmet on. And I'm staring at him again. I was hoping he'd come this way.
Was it one of the Norway Vikings? Just kind of
he may have been. He lost his bearings.
The Vikings were good on on their geography. Apparently, they were all over the place. They were in Ireland. They were in England. They were all over the place.
They were doing loop-de-loos in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, right? So, it could be at the boardwalk. Who knows? It could be the 20s or 30s. There's still Vikings wandering the seas coming to the boardwalk. You never know. This is just one of like a ton of lounges, right? There's lounges all over the property. Of course, I'm not even going to save it to the end. One of my favorites, I always say, and poor Johnny over here had to listen to me on our Polynesian podcast about my favorite lounge on property, which is Trader Sam's. And we just brought it up a minute ago. That's my favorite because it's just I think the most well-themed one on property. It has animatronics, there's special effects, it has, bartenders that play a role. They're not just cast members that are getting drinks. There are people that are acting a part. They're Jungle Cruise skippers. They're sarcastic. They're not always very nice to you. I love that part of that. But that's just one aspect of it. I mean, it's also a cool place where you can go. You can get food. You can enjoy a ton of drinks. I don't think this one, they don't serve food at the Bellevue, I don't think. At least I don't see anybody eating it.
Yeah, I don't think they do either. But
I'm looking at the menu.
There's a ton of places you can go grab grub right downstairs from on the boardwalk.
Yeah. The boardwalk we have.
And a lot of stuff's open late, too.
The pizza window?
Yeah, the pizza window, yeah. How long before Via Napoli has a pizza window? Please tell me somebody at Disney's listening to that. Put a pizza window at Via Napoli so I have to get a reservation.
That's really good pizza.
Yeah.
I actually tonight for my dinner, and I'm not going to go into the explanation as to why, but we ate from the pizza window at the boardwalk for dinner.
Hey, no shame in that game, man.
It wasn't. It's like Little Caesars pizza at that pizza window.
But hey, sometimes though if you need a fast bite to eat, that can be one of the hurdles that some people kind of get concerned about when it comes to booking a Disney vacation.
That's
saying,
true.
There's this stigma that you have to get your dining reservations all lined up well in advance. Yeah, that's true. And some people think, well, there's not a lot of flexibility. Well, no, there is. There's a lot of quick service options that if you're in a pinch, you don't have to wait a long time. Because, especially with young kids, they have blood sugar issues. If they start melting down because they're hungry, there are a lot of places where you can grab a slice, or you can grab a burger, or a chicken sandwich, or fingers, or hot dog, something quick. And I think it's actually pretty decent. Most of the spots that you get that stuff. The other night I rolled up to Captain Cook's. They have an annual pass discount now.
That's
20%.
I know. We've been doing that this whole trip.
Yeah,
it's 20% discount's crazy. I didn't realize that until we got here.
And look, annual pass. Like if you're coming here for like 2 trips a year or one really long trip, like more than like 8 or 9 days, you score the annual pass, and it basically pays for itself. Then you get all the discounts on top of it.
That's true. So, as a Disney travel agent, I'm going to go on the record and say, don't buy an annual pass because I can't sell it.
No, tell them to buy the annual pass, but then they have to make sure they get their money's worth to come back like 2-3 times a year.
Yeah, you have to, You get the annual pass and then have me book your hotel and all that stuff. I can do that for you.
Look, 2 times.
I'll still do your dining reservations, your fast passes, all that stuff for free. Although I won't be making as much money, so don't expect to hear from me.
Scale it. You got to scale it, man. You got to say, no, we're going to get 3 times a year. No, let's not agree. 2 times a year. And then you'll be fine. Yeah. We'll edit that out in post.
You just won't get as much attention. That's all. That's a joke. My problem is with this. When people just buy tickets through me, I do the whole. I offer fast passes and dining and all that stuff. So anyway,
so you want to do a quick chat about like what are we talked about the experiences, but the drinks themselves. I know if you're a kind of person who says, I like to wind the date down with a beer, but, I'm not crazy fancy. Can I get Coors Light and Miller Lite? Yeah, you can get Budweiser, like the big 3 here. But they also have a lot of, local microbrews. Like High Lie's a local beer that's from Tampa. I think they have the Orlando I-4 beers here at Bellevue.
I think I did see that, but I'm going to rely on you to look at the menu because I cannot read it.
Yeah, I think they had one of the I-4, I don't know if it was the IPA. I sucked down a New Belgium Fat Tire,
which is a great, really, really great beer.
Yeah,
I love that beer. Which wasn't available in Pennsylvania until like less than a year ago.
Really?
Yeah, it's one of those.
Well, they deliver all their beer on bicycles.
That's a good point. There is a bicycle.
It takes them a long time to get over from Colorado.
Yeah, getting to Pennsylvania is a lot.
Yeah, man, that's
took a couple years.
That's hard.
It's funny. It just reminded me of. Sorry, tangent. You guys know I'm a huge.
That's how we do. That's how you know it's legit.
Yeah, I'm a huge stand-up comedy fan, and Louis C.K. Are you familiar with his? I've seen him in person. One of my top favorite stand-ups of all time. Talks about the New York to LA flight and how people complain about it and say, I had to sit on the tarmac. I sat on the tarmac for an hour. And then Louis C.K.'s like, what? You sat on the tarmac for an hour? What happened next? Did you fly through the air like a bird? He's like, when you were a human with no wings, experiencing the miracle of flight, he's like, you went from New York to LA in 5.5 hours? That used to take 30 years. He said,
on a covered wagon.
Yeah, he's like, you would go, people would die. You'd be a whole new group of people by the time you got to California. It's true. But I just love that. I think that's hilarious. Anyway. Right, back to the menu and we're talking about.
Another tangent, they just had a group of like 12 people roll in here with ice cream in hand in the lounge. Going, I guess they're probably Ample Hills.
Yes.
But back to the drinks though. I was looking through the wine list too. I'm not a sommelier. I'm not a huge wine. I don't have a lot of wine knowledge, but I dig wine. And they have a decent wine list too. But you could do a lot by the glass or by the bottle. Prices are reasonable on wine for a lounge. Yeah, because normally I always thought it was like a multiplier of 3. So if you say like there's a $20 bottle that you like, you get routinely maybe like Conundrum. So you might say, all right, I'm expected to pay $60 for that bottle at a restaurant. They're a little under that 3 times multiplier here. So I consider that a fair price because you're paying for the experience to be out with your friends and in a cool place. But then the cocktails, if you're somebody who likes to experience specialty cocktails, they have a lot here. Obviously there's the basics, things that you can, like the Moscow Mule, that's like the new cocktail du jour everywhere, the hot new thing that everyone wants to have. But then a couple other signature cocktails that they have here. Plus I'm sure like the standbys, they could probably whip out a Bloody Mary if you wanted to do that, or gin and tonic. That's easy enough. But a couple of cool specials that they have on there too, which is kind of neat. So if that's something that if you're on vacation, you say, I want to live a little bit, I want to relax. I don't normally. My daily routine is not to go out and get a drink at a bar, but I do like exploring new things, getting winding down the day with a cocktail. That's a cool place to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree with you. I'm not a big cocktail guy. I'm more of a sit and have a beer in the afternoon or the evening kind of guy. Yeah, I was just through the list. They have the standard stuff too. And they have a whole bunch of non-alcoholic ones too. It's like lemonades and wild strawberry lemonades. And the coconut elixir, which is it's like coconut water and some kind of something that I can't read because I'm on my list.
Which is kind of like that new thing where, when like Red Bull and vodka became a thing, like now we're going to start to see like vitamin water being as a mixer with vodka. Or
you're like drink it and lose weight.
Or like you're whatever you're diminishing from the alcohol, you're putting it back from the vitamin water.
Have you ever had the Red Bull and vodka or anything like that?
No, I'm afraid I'd blow up. Like
I know,
spontaneously combust.
Right? Like the one thing raises your heart rate and lowers it.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of confusion going on. Like an Irish coffee. Like I'm too scared to go down that road.
Yeah, this is another tangent. One time I was in Boston for a Red Sox Phillies game, right? We went to a bar.
Talk about fist fights.
Yeah. No, Red Sox Phillies get along because it's American League National.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So the Red Sox fans weren't happy to have us there, but they were cool. We still got them all. And it didn't hurt that the Phillies lost that hole. And they lost 2 out. No, they might have gotten swept almost all 3. I went to 2 of the 3. The third game I watched in the Boston Beer Works bar. But anyway, so I went with a cousin and a friend, and we went and got a drink. It was one of the. Now we're gonna have to edit this. So I'm trying to remember what it was. You dropped a shot, and it's like a Boilermaker.
Irish car bomb.
It wasn't a car bomb. No, it was. No.
Cocktail.
I'm completely lying. It was a. You dropped a shot of like vanilla or something, orange vodka. That's what it was. It was like an orange vodka into a Red Bull, and it was like a creamsicle or something, right? That's what we did. But the bartender messed mine up, and he poured me instead of the. I forgot. I'm gonna have to edit this whole part because I don't remember what it was. To be honest with you, I think it was he poured me. I had a beer instead of the soda, and I dropped my shot into my beer instead of my soda, and I drank it. And the 2 people I was with were like, that was delicious. And I was like, that's the most I've ever had. Anyway, that probably will be able to be used. I forget where we were.
Well, but so going back to, this hit me a second ago. Saw a couple of young girls come through, probably like 10 to 12, just walked through here, and I don't know what they probably were saying hi to somebody, then they just left. But it made me think, if somebody who's never been to one of the lounges at Walt Disney World, and they hear us talking about how it's family friendly, you can bring your kids in here. One of the things that might be an objection is to think, I don't want my kids to be around sloppy drunk people.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, I've never been to a lounge and seen people like, like Boris Yeltsin drunk. They seem to hold their own pretty well.
Yeah, no, it's not a place where, listen, let's be honest, it's expensive, right?
Yeah.
If you want to go and drink a lot, you're not going to come to a Disney lounge.
Right.
Because it's not somewhere where you're going to be spending $8, $9 a beer and destroying yourself.
Yeah, it's not like the $1 draft kind of special.
It's not the college bar.
Where you're getting they're not selling you beer by the pitcher here.
Right, no. They probably would make a lot of money if they had $20 pitchers, people probably buy it. But no, it's not like that. You know what? I'd be remiss if I didn't mention one lounge that I love, and who I want to mention.
Yeah.
It's the Rivers Lounge with Bob Jackson.
Yeah.
It's a lounge, technically, like the one we're in tonight, but it is so much fun. It's a live show that you get to listen to. I've had Bob on the show. I forget the number of the episode.
How's he doing, by the way?
He's good. He's playing again.
Because he got banged up.
He was in a car accident. Yeah. Last week, about a week ago, I think.
Yeah.
We're recording on January 7th. I should know. Your anniversary was yesterday.
And yours was the day before.
Yeah. We're very close. Anniversary. Not together.
Yeah. You're the 11th day of Christmas. I'm the 12th day of Christmas.
That's true. So, yeah, he was in a car accident the other end about a week ago. I think he missed 2 days at Port Orleans and he came back.
I gotta imagine Disney, they'd have to insure him through Lloyd's of London, insure him. Because he's a treasure.
He's phenomenal. And he was in an ambulance, legit.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
Didn't remember the accident. So, he said he was driving down, I don't know if it was I-4 or where it was, 1 minute, and the next minute he kind of came to in an ambulance. And 2 days later he was playing.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. That's a miracle.
He's a hockey player, man.
Oh, well, that explains it. He's used to getting banged around. But that's a great point because, that's a perfect example of a lounge that you can bring your family to.
Yeah.
And you can have a couple of drinks to wind down and enjoy and after a day of going around the parks, you might want to take her down a couple of notches.
Yeah.
And your kids will have a blast listening to the songs and and it's participatory.
Yep. And he changes it every few months. He'll add a new song or two, so it's not the same show we've seen for 20 years. Because he's been there 20 years now. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And he's a good dude. He's in talking to him on the show and off the show, he's a super nice guy. He does a lot for charity. He's with Give Kids the World every
He
4
does,
weeks.
he does a lot of stuff down there.
Yeah, he does little live shows at the libraries, to random public libraries. So, yeah, it's very, very cool.
Well, I was thinking while you were talking about just other lounges, and we talked about this idea of, your kids are at the room, maybe with your the family, some other family members. A lot of people do like early dinners here, and you kind of run around after the dinner, and you've gone through the parks. You're still kind of maybe a little bit hungry. You don't want a little something. And we mentioned like they don't have food here, but you mentioned one of your favorite. One of my favorites is Territory Lounge too, which I know you love that too.
Yep.
Which has some awesome food, like small plate food that if you've already had your dinner and it's later, 9, 10 o'clock at night, you just want a little something to make sure you have in your stomach if you're going to have a glass of wine or a beer or a cocktail. That's an awesome place to do it.
Yeah, it is. And that, with all the lounges that as far as I know, you can bring outside food in. It's not, they're never going to give you a problem. Like, I know this lounge, you can go get food from anywhere outside on the boardwalk, bring it in. Have your, if you want to bring your kids, they can bring their chicken nuggets in or whatever they want.
Bring a turkey leg you wrapped up, put in your cargo shorts, carry it around.
That'd be gross. Taking it out of there.
You're taking that to the dry cleaners on your way home. Like, what the heck is this stain on your cargo
I was going to
shorts?
say, could you imagine what your cargo... Like, I'm looking at my cargo shorts now. Thinking what that would look like. That would be pretty disgusting.
It'd be a great story, though, because everyone's going to ask you, hey, yo, what happened to your shorts there, homie? That's a turkey leg. Turkey leg stain.
Couldn't live without it. I had to take it to the Territory Lounge with me.
Yeah, because it's themed, right? Smoked turkey.
It fits that lounge.
Very kind of northwest.
You're in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Out in the wild.
Yeah, exactly.
Catching turkeys with your bare hands. Killing them. All right, now we're getting a little crazy. I don't want to get that far. What's funny is, on Thanksgiving, on Christmas, I was supposed to cook the turkey right at my house. I was telling you earlier, before we hit the record button, we had like 35 people or 30 people in my house for Christmas. And we just moved in like 6 months ago. So my house is nice, but not like finished yet. We're still working on stuff. But my kids are 4 and 6, and Santa came and brought all the awesome presents. We had mountains of presents, opened them. My mom and dad came over. My mom cooked us breakfast. And I realized about 4 hours too late that my turkey was still in my fridge. Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Nice.
And I was supposed to have cooked it at like 6 7 a.m.
That's a little process.
Yeah, it's like a 25-pound turkey. That thing had to go in the darn oven. So I did it.
Did you fry it?
I wish I had a fry. My fryer is about the size of my hand.
Your fry daddy?
So
did you do like bro torch cooking, like on that Hormel chili?
You know what's funny is I actually looked up if you can microwave a turkey, and you can, but I didn't do it.
I just have a big microwave, like to spin that sucker around.
This is an aside off of a tangent. YouTube, if you're listening right now, you just pause it, come back in a minute. But YouTube microwave a turkey, or how to microwave a turkey. There's videos. And they tell you to put it in a big oven roasting bag. And it looks disgusting. But the people who eat it say it's phenomenal. I don't know. It looks gross.
It sounds like that would be like if you do a YouTube search for how to microwave a turkey, like on the sidebar, the suggested videos, I guarantee you that one of the suggested videos is throwing bowling balls in your dryer. Like just
all the dumbest ideas ever.
Let's see how we can blow up our appliances.
My red room will blow up in the microwave.
Yeah.
But no, so anyway, you can cook a turkey in the microwave, but I didn't. I said to my mom. My mom is a turkey pro. I made like 2 turkeys in my life. My mom was there, and she's like, "Did you put the turkey in yet?" And I go, no. She's like, "What are you doing?" So she broke out the turkey pan, the roasting pan, got it together literally in like 6 minutes and had it in. And it worked out. It ended up working out pretty perfectly. But yeah, so the next day we had 2 turkey legs left over because nobody eats those. And I just assumed, I was like, this is turkey legs. So I figured I'm going to eat that for my leftover for the day after Christmas. I didn't realize how many crazy like tendons and fibers were in the turkey leg that weren't Disney turkey legs. I was picking something out of my teeth for like 45 minutes.
Have you seen like how they do the turkey legs here?
No.
So I saw it one time.
Was it in the Mark Summers show? What's it called?
Yeah, Food Finds or there's like some specials that Mark Summers did.
It was on Food Network.
It's probably on YouTube. Like there's a lot of stuff.
That's why I saw the Mark Summers on YouTube.
I think I saw it.
For you guys who don't know who Mark Summers is, he hosted
Double Dare.
Yeah, mine and Johnny's favorite show ever when we were kids, probably Double Dare.
Yeah, that's a good time, man. I love Double Dare.
With Harvey, remember Harvey?
Harvey,
God. With the beard and his bald. He looked like me with beard and vest.
That and You Can't Do That on Television.
Oh yeah,
that was a great show.
Yeah.
But no, so
Miami Sports Sun was on that show.
Yeah, that was brings me back. But there's a guy in my neighborhood who looked like the guy on You Can't Do That on Television. Always got the slime, like the really grimy looking guy. Like he almost didn't look real. Like he had a weird skin tone. Like it was gray. Like
he always played like the dad in the skits.
Yeah. He looked like he literally just came out of the sewer. Like he was like scrubbing the sewer, and he just rolled out and started filming. Like I don't know if he's still around or not. I hope he's not. And I hope he is.
Should we edit that?
Yeah, let's edit that out.
Right, yeah.
I hope he is still around, and I hope he's not listening. That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
But anyway, so yeah, they like inject like a saltwater brine into it, which I think helps break down all those tendons and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So you're not, because yeah, you see people walk around the parks. It's a pretty easy thing to eat, relatively, as opposed to like having to gnaw at it like a caveman.
Yeah, the one I had on the day after Christmas, I was pulling things out of it for like 45 minutes. First I thought it was plastic, and then I Googled it because I'm a lunatic, and I was like, what am I? I'm eating this, and I want to know what it is. Anyway.
This should be like a good cross-promotional thing. They should give like a free sample of Polydent for the denture wearers. Like,
I actually probably need that. I have like half the teeth in my front. Anyway, we're going off so many tangents.
No, well, but we were talking about, just bringing the food into the lounges, which think about this. Think about like your local bar. Like, I don't know, there's not a lot of bars by me, but, I don't know if you have like some down in Philadelphia where you said, you know what, hey, I'm going to go bring in a sack of Hardee's, like, or some Carl's Jr. burgers. They're going to throw you out on your head first. Which is kind of cool to say, you know what, hey, if I want to come... There's some people over here playing cards next to us. Don't look now. Like, no, I mean, they're going to tell what I'm talking about. And I'm like leaning into the... Yeah, over there. Yeah. So they point to them and like...
how about that?
Yeah, I mean, so, like, there's not a lot of, like...
I wasn't very... Just for the notes, the CD notes, I was not very inconspicuous about who he was looking at.
Yeah, for the cassette tape notes that were being...
The liner notes.
Yeah, the liners, yeah. No, it's, so it's a very relaxed environment. It's literally like, almost like if you were at home.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of crazy, strict, hard rules that you can see. Like, yeah, I mean, don't get stupid and don't get yourself loaded and get mouthy and try to pick a fight with somebody. But it's a laid back, relaxed vibe, which to me is perfect. I don't want to feel like if I'm going to do that, I'm always worried about, oh, you know what, I have to make sure that I'm buying a certain number of drinks because right now we're hanging out at this table, but there's a lot of empty tables. I don't feel pressured to keep drinking.
Right.
I can sit here. I'm pretty good with those 13 fat tires I drank. I don't need to keep drinking.
Yeah, with that, we probably I was going to say we should call it into the episode, but we should start wrapping it up. I wish I could start going through the number of lounges that are in Walt Disney World. I can't. There's no way I'm going to name them all.
I got an idea. Edit this out and post. Do it like a contest and say if the first person who can give you the correct number of lounges in the Walt Disney World Resort Hotel, keep it to the hotels, not the parks. The first person who does the correct number of lounges in Walt Disney World hotels, give them a discount on your service pack. Give them like 30% off of all the personalized itinerary, fast passes, all the dining stuff.
Dude,
yeah,
dude, I keep telling you, we're having, I don't want to upset you at all by any means, but I don't charge anything for my services.
Wait, so like if I call you up and say, can you give me a quote and all, like, what is that, like $50 to get a quote? Or I thought that there was a charge for that.
It's unfortunately for myself, I don't charge. No, not unfortunately. It is always and has always been and will always be completely free of charge. Everything that I do. I hope you guys can hear me over the card players. We'll have to check this out later. But
the card players, and you have like a LED light shining on you like a beacon from the scooter that's been abandoned. Or the commandeer it.
Just so you guys know, right now we're looking at a wonderful young lady pulled up next to us with a scooter and just abandoned it about 6 inches from our table.
I don't think it's in park, man. It's like idling.
I think it's still running. Yeah. I think if I jumped, I think I can get out of here on that right now if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I can pull Dukes of Hazzard, hit the horn. I can definitely do that. But yeah, so to go back to the...
You do that all for free?
I do. Believe it or not, it's a free service. Man. Yes.
Blow me away.
I know.
I mean, is that the beer? Like,
no, it's not the beer talking.
Wow. So you really did... Yeah, because I don't want you to have to, like, edit it when you sober up. Like wow, that's free. That's crazy.
You know what? It's like I'm not gonna run tomorrow, so I figured I might as well just let loose.
Yeah, let loose.
No, but yeah, it is a completely free service, and it's fun, and I like it, and I make money somehow. Disney gives me a little bit of money on the side. It's some of the envelopes under the table here and there, so
maybe
it's okay.
Coupons for turkey legs.
You do have to take them out in your car Christmas, though.
Yeah.
You can't tell anybody you have them.
All the napkins you like. No limit.
All right, man. So I think we did a good job. We discussed the lounges, gave you reasons why you should come, why you shouldn't, in case you're gonna run into a scooter.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
But dude, thanks for meeting me out. This is a good time.
Yeah, man. So where can people hook up with you if they need a quote? Because they heard this and they said, you know what? All right, that was the missing link. Like this is the thing that pushed me over the tipping point. Because now I know that when I'm done with the theme parks, I can go kick back and relax. Like, where do I get a quote?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Just go to eartotheretravel.com. It's eartotheretravel.com. In case you thought you couldn't understand what I said it the first time. And yeah, everything's there. This episode will be there when it airs. My blog, the request a free quote, all that stuff. And I know that you've been pushing. You've had an agenda lately with your. When I ask you what I can do to kind of point people your way, you always say people know where to find you.
They know where to find me, man. I'm cruising around. But I tell you what they can do is a good buddy of mine named Shell. I call him Gold Medal. He's hot and heavy in Special Olympics down here in Central Florida. Shell is going through some stuff right now that he's trying to help get the word out with the Central Florida Special Olympics. He does some amazing stuff, and I love this dude. Super, super sweet kid. And, I know that Special Olympics has chapters all over the U.S. I know everyone's heard about it. Maybe they'll use this as a nudge to say, look, you know what? Let me see what's going on in my local chapter. Let me see if there's something I can do to help out. Maybe throw a couple bucks their way. Maybe it's to volunteer. But at least go check out the website and just see what they do and read the stories of how they impact these families. Because it is more than just sports. It is something that really does impact a lot of lives. And I love to see the work that they're doing to kind of grow and get the word out. So do me a favor and go check out your local chapter of Special Olympics and see what's out there. And maybe you can spread the word and help them grow and get their programs off the ground even more strong than what they're already doing.
That's awesome, man. I feel like a snake because I promote myself and then I ask you and you're like, go do this and help people and do that. And
You're
people
helping
here and
people
there.
too, man. This is.
I
Hey,
know.
look, man. Look. Honestly,
That's
I'm
fine.
going to sing your praises for a second. I'm gonna do something that I think really, hopefully, will put this into perspective. You are the catalyst to making incredible lifetime memories for a family. Like, you think about
That's nice to
that, because think about, like, this place here. I love walking through the parks and seeing, just happen to be watching families enjoying what they're doing here, because you realize that 10, 15, 20 years from now, they're going to have a conversation around the dinner table for Thanksgiving, fighting over the turkey leg, saying, hey, remember that turkey leg we got in Disney back then? Wasn't that a fun trip?
Wasn't that full of those weird saline solutions?
Man, it sure tasted like a lot of saltwater brine injected into that thing. But, so that's a cool thing to be a part of that. It's kind of like there was a baker at the local grocery store who I became friends with, and one day he was just super down. I was like, what's going on, man? He's like, I'm just tired. It's a hard job, man. I'm up at the crack of dawn. I work hard, and I don't know if I really get appreciated. I said, dude, I know you maybe don't feel that way, but think about this. This guy was a cake maker at the bakery. I said, you are making something that somebody's going to celebrate a birthday with, or an anniversary, or a wedding, and that you are an important part to a very key moment in that person's life. The same thing with you, dude. You're a very key element to bringing this to everybody, and I think that's the awesome thing at the podcast. Hopefully, it is enough to get people to say, hey, I've heard about it. I've heard my friends talk about it. I know it's there. I need to just pull the trigger and make it happen. Call Phil, make it done, and you take care of all that stuff for them for free. I thought it was like $1,000, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, it's free. So yeah, if you're interested, give me a call, text me, or email me, Phil@travel.com. Thanks a lot, man, for saying all that. That was really, really super nice. I hope people can hear me. All of a sudden, this crowd is getting unruly in here, so we should probably split.
Yeah. And how funny is it going to be if you pick up this recorder and realize we haven't been recording the whole time?
I'm blinking now. I think it's still red. Yeah, it's blinking. We're good. I think we're good. All right. So thanks again, man, for being on with me this week. Again, I always say you are the second host of the podcast. So
I appreciate that, man. Thanks for the chance.
Yeah, man, I'm going to probably have to space this out. So this will probably be in like January of 2018. So, so it's not too many podcasts in a row. But no, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And hey, we'll have you on again soon.
Right on, man.
That's 3 hours. Stop it.
And that is going to do it for this week's episode of the Ear to There podcast. A huge thank you once again to my friend and co-host, Mr. Johnny Shortsleeve, for this episode. Recording this one was an awful lot of fun. And as always, thank you for listening to the episode. I really appreciate it. I hope we gave you a couple laughs and actually something to think about. Maybe next time on your next trip to Walt Disney World, you will visit one of these lounges, sit, relax, and have a lot of fun. And as always, all I ask is that if you did enjoy this episode, please tell someone about it. You know what? Go tell that person who thinks Walt Disney World is just for kids. Because obviously, as this podcast clearly points out, it is not. And just remember, there will be a new episode of the Ear to There podcast each and every Monday morning, as well as an episode of the Walt Disney World Word of the Week each and every Wednesday morning. So until next time, thank you again so much for listening. Have a great week. Bye-bye.